This is an iHeart podcast.
Wells Fargo is proud of the important role they play for their customers, their communities, and the U.S. economy, covering more rural markets than many large banks and nearly 30% of branches in low or moderate income census tracts. Also proudly serving more than 10% of small businesses nationwide. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/say-do. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about maritime madams. Whether through scientific study, aquatic exploration, or legendary prowess, these women harness the power of the bodies of water that cover our Earth. Today we're talking about the story of a woman who took to the seas, riding the waves of revenge in 14th century Europe. Please welcome the Lioness of Brittany, Jeanne de Clisson. Jeanne was born into nobility in 1300 in Brittany, a then independent medieval feudal state in modern-day France. By the age of 12, she was married off to a nobleman 7 years her senior. Her husband died not long after, and Jeanne remarried the Baron Olivier de Clisson in 1330. Jeanne and Olivier's union would change the trajectory of her life. When the Duke of Brittany died without an heir, there was a scramble for power in the region, a conflict we now know as the War of Breton Succession. France and England, each trying to stake claim to the region, backed rival factions. Olivier, as a Brittany nobleman, was forced to take a side. The French crown misunderstood Olivier's political leanings, and subsequently, Olivier was wrongfully executed in 1343. Jeanne de Clisson came to be known as the tragic widow in Paris. Following efforts to free her husband, the French crown ordered Jeanne captured as well. But Jeanne was not going quietly. Instead, she took her grief steadfastly into her own hands. She drastically spun her allegiance to king and country from France over to England. She sold off all her lands and possessions, and with a bit of help from the English crown, she raised a fleet of 3 warships and 400 men to her cause. The ships were painted an ominous black and waved blood-red sails. Her flagship vessel was known as My Revenge. Jeanne spent the next 13 years sailing her black fleet throughout the English Channel, her desire for vengeance now fueling her new pirate lifestyle. Her fleet would seek out and overtake commercial French ships. Jeanne and her crew plundered and sank these vessels. Wielding axes, they executed the crew, save for a select few. Some reports say that her children also participated in these violent ambushes. The men that were spared were instructed to report on their ship's brutal ransacking back in France. Despite her moxie, Jeanne's luck eventually ran out. One day, a French naval ship appeared on the horizon, careening toward Jeanne's fleet. Finally, the Frenchmen were able to get close enough to attack Jeanne's fleet after years of her ships evading them. The French Navy destroyed the entire fleet and stormed Jeanne's flagship. Somehow, so the story goes, Jeanne, her sons, and a few crew members escaped among the chaos. They drifted to the shores of Brittany over several days. The group survived despite being without food, water, or shelter on the English Channel. When the group's small dinghy made it to shore, Jeanne knew she had to continue to evade the French, so she moved to England for safety. There, she met an English military leader named Walter Bentley, a knight in the 100 Years' War. This was Jeanne's final marriage and marked the end to her days as a pirate on the high seas. The pair would eventually return to Brittany, where Jeanne lived until she died in 1359 at the age of 59. All month, we're talking about maritime madams. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Dad, the cousins in Mexico have a surprise for you.
Listos todos. Una, dos.
And enjoy the gift of staying connected.
Switch and start saving today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI on us and 4 lines for just $25 per line. Plus, nonstop talk, text, and data between U.S. and Mexico. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Wells Fargo seeks broad impact in their communities, focused on supporting customers and communities through housing affordability, small business growth, financial health, and more. Donated over $2 billion to strengthen local communities over the last 5 years. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/saydo. Support includes contributions from Wells Fargo & Company, Wells Fargo Bank N.A., and the Wells Fargo Foundation.
This is an iHeart podcast.